The model year-end sales event starts now. The Kendall Toyota, our biggest model year-end event. Take $2,500 off MSRP on the all-new 2023 Toyota Crown Hybrid. Plus, best-selling new Toyota Camrys now $2,500 off. Or get $750 APR bonus cash on new Camry and Camry Hybrids. Offers with approved financing through SCT expires October 2nd. All remaining 2023 must go. Get yours before they're gone. Call Kendall Toyota. Kendall!
Pass it on.
Here's a short quiz. Who won Best Actress last year? Who won the World Series 2 years ago? And finally, name your favorite teacher.
Pass it on.
Now, I'm guessing that the last question was the easiest. Why is that? Because that person made a difference in your life. So, go ahead and make a difference. Because making a difference is in you.
Pass it on.
From passiton.com.
Let's get back to setting up today's game.
Lifted into the area, John Malta. Taylor! Caught it over the clearance! And then sends it on the full volley until it rips the net.
The Inter Miami pregame show.
Yep. And this is the Celsius pregame show. Get you ready for the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final. Chris Whittingham, Thomas Rongen on the call, as well as Fernando Fiore, who is down on the field for us tonight. And behind you, Fernando, is already a jam-packed stand of La Familia. The supporters already in full voice. There's barely any room in there.
That's right, and I love that one. And we know that we're going to get the support with or without Messi, with or without Alba. These people are here from the very beginning. And we're going to be here cheering for our team and trying to get that extra player. I know that we have one of the biggest players in history of the world not playing tonight, but we have those players right there on the stands supporting and pushing for the win tonight. And in front of me is the General Secretary of CONCACAF, Philip Mojo, and it's a lot of activity here and a lot of celebrities are going around. I saw Mr. David Beckham passing by also. But yes, the fans deserve this win. We won the League's Cup away. We have to win this U.S. Open Cup here at home for them.
Now, TR, one of the celebrities that I saw in the house tonight is Zinedine Zidane.
Oh, my God.
Zizou is in attendance tonight.
I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, he is here. I saw a video on Twitter of Zizou walking into the stadium, so that'll be a fun one.
Tata Martino reminds me of Zizou, the way he approaches his team, the level of calmness, even Ancelotti for that matter, you know.
Yeah.
You're going to look at the other side with Ben Olsen. It's in your face. Tata has been able to manage but that's a Zizou. Oh, my God.
Incredible. Zinedine Zidane is in attendance tonight. I've heard some other sporting legends will be in attendance.
I let you know when they come close to me and we have a chat.
Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled, Fernando.
I don't speak French, though. How do I speak to... I can speak Spanish with Zizou.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No problem.
He's former Real Madrid manager.
Ça va bien?
Si, très bien.
Tu joues au foot?
Voulez-vous ce soir?
Hey!
That's my French.
All right. Yeah, I don't have much more than that. So, all right. So coming up tonight, Inter Miami taking on Houston Dynamo in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final. Let's bring you their starting lineup as we just brought you Miami's. 7 changes from the team that played at the weekend. Only Franco Escobar, Hector Herrera, Adalberto Carrasquilla, and Nelson Quinones remain in from the start. So this is the team. Andrew Tarbell is in goal. He's only started 1 MLS game, but he has started every match of Houston Dynamo's Open Cup run. He is very much the backup, but you get named cup keeper that goes all the way through to the final. That's what we talked about last segment, TR.
I stuck with that, and actually it cost me a semifinal against Rochester, to be real honest with you, but I won't mention names. But yes, if you made that commitment, look those 2 goalkeepers, you're right now to start in MLS. If you don't do well, but you will definitely play in the Open Cup. So well done, Ben Olsen. It's a bit of a drop-off, but let's see how a player like that also handles a one-off game final. Not too many guys on the Houston side have been there and done that.
3 changes in the back 4. Griffin Dorsey coming in at right back. Eric Zviatchenko, the Ukrainian center back. In from the start, Mikael at center back and Franco Escobar will play off the left side. The former MLS Cup winner played for Tata Martino in
by
Atlanta.
The way, has the biggest Messi tattoo on his calf.
Yes, he does.
Unbelievable.
He has a Messi tattoo, and he's going against Messi, or would have theoretically gone against Messi here tonight. Yeah, it's incredible. I saw the stories of that in the build-up to this one. In that midfield, Artur, the former MLS Cup winner with Columbus, is with Hector Herrera, HH, the Mexican international winner of more than 100 Mexico caps. He is a fantastic player and has put in a great season. 14 MLS assists for HH this season. Amin Bassi as well, playing in that number 10 role. Coco Carrasquilla, they call him Coco. His first name is Adalberto, but we'll call him Coco just for the simplicity of things. Corey Barrett is up front. He's been a man reborn as a makeshift center forward for Houston Dynamo. Nelson Quinones, their young signing, will play off the left side. TR, who are some of the threats you identify in this Houston team?
Well, I mean, if you look at this 11, obviously, the changes in the back, we knew that Ben was going to tinker because that's been his weak spot, so to speak, but they attack narrow. This is the best possession Houston team that I've seen in a long time. Lots of tight combination play, speed in transition, and particularly talking about Coco Baird and Quinones. When the ball turns over, they go. Center backs love to hit diagonals, so be aware of that as well, be it DeAndre Yetlin or Noah Allen as well. And Dorsey actually gives them with a, as I said again, a narrow attacking team and loves to go forward. That's where maybe Robert Taylor first. Your responsibilities, Robert, are keep him home, but in transition, you can get behind him as well and maybe force one of those two center backs to come out, and all of a sudden we can maybe fight Leo Campana in 1v1 situations. Corey Bird, they press occasionally, but it's Corey Bird that sets the tone for Ben Olsen. He's got 7 goals, 4 assists, I think, on the year, 10 in all competitions. Bassi, 10 goals and 4 in all competitions as well. You got L3 legend Herrera, who has got 14 assists, second best, by the way, in MLS as well. So you boast Artur, the France-born schemer, Bassi, who's also from Ligue de Metz and a former Moroccan international. They are pretty darn good. Throw Escobar in the mix, obviously, that you talked about. That's a 2-time MLS Cup winner as well. So is Mr. Ben Olsen. So an intriguing 11, an expected 11, in particular the front 6. Some changes in the back, as you said, Chris. But this is going to be a wonderful tactical battle.
Yeah.
And the master motivator, Ben Olsen, will have his team ready. So will the less boisterous motivator, Tata Martino, because his teams always seem to be very well coached, very well prepared, no strength and weaknesses of the opponent, and then within that, try to play their own style. I like that. Not easy to do, Chris. And again, shifting systems and formations, adding new players like a Diego Gomez out of nowhere, and somehow they find ways to get on the same page fairly quickly, Christopher. That takes sometimes 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of preseason to do that. He's doing it on the fly right now.
Now, Fernando, down on the field, if you work on Spanish language television, you see the Mexican national team a fair bit, as you must have. So, Hector Herrera, what can you tell us about his exploits in the middle and what you've seen from him in his career?
Well, in Spanish or in English, you want it?
in English, if you don't mind.
Well, I follow the Mexican national team for so many years, and I saw Hector Herrera playing so many games, World Cups, Gold Cups, friendlies. It was a core of players: Herrera, Guardado, and before that it was Marquez, and on all these players that are icons for El Tri, for the green jersey. But Hector Herrera was always there, even though at some times he was criticized heavily, and then he was always coming up with a lot of emotion, with a lot of I'm here because I deserve to be here. And this is a kind of player that is respected not only by his teammates, but also by everyone around the world of football. And you saw yesterday during the press conference the way Tata Martino talked about Hector Herrera, the way Sergio Busquets talked about Hector Herrera, a player that he went from Mexico and get out of the comfort zone to go to Spain and play for Atletico Madrid. And yes, when you come back from Europe, to the MLS, some people will criticize you again. And he says, what are you coming back? You are not at the level of the top players. Hector Herrera humbly come back and demonstrate to every single one that he's still a caliber player that is well taken care of with time, and that we have to take care of him if we don't want any surprises.
They might meet occasionally, but Busquets and Hector Herrera in La Liga obviously have played against each other as well
of course. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid.
And depending on what Ben Olsen tells Hector Herrera before this game, his starting point, because throughout this year, he's advanced at times very, very high. He's settled in times as well. He picks his spot when to play make, but also to stimulate. So he might end up in that zone with Sergio Busquets. And those are two veteran guys that spoke highly about each other yesterday in both press conferences.
Yeah, and Herrera was playing also the MLS All-Star game. He got, the welcoming from all the Mexican fans. He's a kind of player that I personally think that he put a good name on the MLS. He's a kind of player that, through the years, he went through good and bad, but mostly he was always there putting his face and putting the chest right there for the team. Great player.
Hector Herrera will be in that midfield tonight for Houston Dynamo. More Celsius pregame show is on the way, getting you ready for Inter Miami and Houston Dynamo in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final.
Game Day Uncensored on AM 560 Sports. WQAM is sponsored by
South Florida Lexus Dealers. Experience amazing by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. Ed Morse Sawgrass Buick GMC is a proud partner of the Miami Dolphins. Remember, you're always backed by Morse. By JM Lexus. At JM Lexus, you'll always get the home team advantage. And by Williamson Automotive. Williamson is Miami.
The model year-end sales event starts now at Kendall Toyota, our biggest model year-end event. Take $2,500 off MSRP and the all-new 2023 Toyota Crown Hybrid. Plus, best-selling new Toyota Camrys, now $2,500 off. Or get $750 APR bonus cash on new Camry and Camry Hybrids. Offers with approved financing through SCT expires October 2nd. All remaining 2023 must go. Get yours before they're gone. Call Kendall Toyota.
Kendall!
The Black Keys, Jelly Roll, and so many more are taking over Fort Lauderdale Beach on December 2nd and 3rd. Enter for your chance to win the national contest, a flyaway to the 2-day Odyssey Riptide Music Festival. Go to odyssey.com/Riptide. Sponsored by Spirit. Travel more with Spirit and the free Spirit MasterCard. Spirit flies to over 90 destinations throughout the U.S., Latin America, and the Caribbean, and has one of the youngest fleets in the U.S. Enter the flyaway contest now to Fort Lauderdale, Florida at odyssey.com/Riptide.
Hey everyone, this is Richard Deitch, and I host the sports media of the Richard Deitch Podcast. What can you expect from this podcast? Well, each week I'll have interviews and in-depth conversations with the people who bring you the sports you love, as well as roundtables with sports media reporters about television, digital, audio, radio, print, and other forms of media. If you are interested in sports broadcasting and how you watch, listen, and read about the games you love, listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Journey Freedom Tour 2024, February 12th, Amerant Bank Arena. Journey with very special guest Toto. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at JourneyMusic.com. Don't miss Journey Live.
Let's get back to setting up today's game.
Lifted into the area, John Malta. Taylor! Caught it over the clearance! And then sends it on the full volley until it rips the net.
The Inter Miami pregame show.
This is the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final here on 560 WQAM. Chris Whittingham, Thomas Rongen, Fernando Fiore getting you ready for Inter Miami, taking on a Houston Dynamo side that are in to the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final semifinals in August. Miami coming from behind to beat FC Cincinnati on penalties. It finished 2-2 after the 90, 3-3 after extra time, and Miami won in a penalty shootout over FC Cincinnati. Houston beating Real Salt Lake a 3-1 in the semifinal. It was 1-1 after 90, and Houston, in the end, getting 2 goals in extra time to get them into this stage of the tournament. The crowd is filling in here at Drive Pink Stadium. If you're just joining us, the headline ahead of kickoff: no Lionel Messi available from the starting lineup. No Lionel Messi available from the bench. They just showed him on our cameras here walking into his field suite where he will be watching tonight's game from. Now, Fernando Fiore, who is down on the field for us tonight, let's get to our player to watch, presented by Celsius, the official energy drink of Inter Miami. Now, Fernando, who is the player that you think has the biggest job on his shoulders tonight to fill the void left behind by Messi and, to a lesser extent, Jordi Alba?
Well, you're going to be surprised, but I will say Drake Calendar.
Okay, wow. It's a big show.
I want to keep the clean sheet, and I know for sure, my friends, that someone up there will step up and score a goal for us. So let's go, Drake Calendar. Make me proud. Keep the clean sheet, and we will win.
And Inter Miami have relied on massive saves from Drake Calendar in recent times, including against Orlando on Sunday night when he made big saves. TR, I was asking Fernando who his player to watch is for tonight. He went for Drake Calendar. Who for you is the biggest player, maybe outfield player, that has to step up in the absence of Lionel Messi?
It's between Facundo Farias, who needs to be our Leo Messi, or the X Factor, which we haven't seen for a while. Diego Gomez could make a real impact on this team right now and maybe force Hector Herrera in a more defensive mode as well, with his aggressive movement with and without the ball.
As Houston Dynamo's technical staff has filed into their technical area, the players and the referees are waiting in the tunnel to walk out onto the field. The pyro beginning inside the stadium. This is a big occasion, and the presentation is befitting of it. Fireworks going on over the east stand. And I can't see the west stand, but presumably there's fireworks going off there too. It's a big night here in South Florida. It is Cup final night. Inter Miami can win a second trophy in 39 days. They won the League's Cup final on August the 19th against Nashville SC. That one also on penalties. Certainly in recent years, the club has not done things the easy way. This year, even in triumph, they have not done things the easy way, and that might continue here tonight as we're into the Cup final. The trophy being brought out onto the field, almost like a welcoming red carpet, although it is blue, out on the halfway line where the trophy is being placed. The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. You've been playing this tournament since 1914. It was the longest running Cup tournament in the United States, the second longest in the world. Of course, they did not play it in 2020 nor in 2021 because of the COVID pandemic. But back last year, Orlando City won it last year. The first team from Florida to win the tournament. Could it be Florida winners in back-to-back years? That is certainly the hope from an Inter Miami point of view. Houston Dynamo did win this tournament 5 years ago. They beat Philadelphia Union in the final. It was sort of in the midst of a season that was otherwise a struggle. As this guitar riff being ripped down on the field next to the Cup final trophy, as U.S. Soccer, who of course do put on this tournament, are welcoming the fans out onto the field to enjoy their night out here at Drive Pink Stadium. Fans still filing in. Of course, there was plenty of rain in the surrounding area. Around 4 o'clock, it was an absolute deluge as the players are being walked out onto the field, led by referee John Freeman. DeAndre Yedlin will wear the captain's armband tonight for Inter Miami. Of course, there have been some tremendous scenes with Lionel Messi and him exchanging the armband, particularly before the lift of the League's Cup trophy. Back in August, Yedlin tonight leads the side out onto the field. Drake Calendar next to him, Busquets next to him, then Miller, then Krzysztof, then Allen, then Taylor, then Kremaski, then Gomez, then Campana, then Farias down the line. Ache, the captain tonight for Houston Dynamo, stands next to the officiating crew. Andrew Tarbell, the goalkeeper, next to him, as it is an absolutely spectacular presentation out of this one. Fire coming from the pyrotechnics in midfield. Fireworks going out over the stadium. And now we will take a break, and when we come back, we'll have kickoff of the first half of this one. Inter Miami and Houston Dynamo in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final is next.
The
This has been the Essential Energy Drinks Inter Miami CF pregame show, where Inter Miami plays AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Game action coming up.
Brought to you by Celsius, the official energy drink of Inter Miami CF. Pass to Celsius. Celsius. Still Celsius. Goal! Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of Inter Miami CF. Text WQAM on the Kendall Toyota text line at 305-567-0560. Kendall Toyota is all about savings. Save $2,500 on the new Toyota Camry or on the all-new Toyota Crown Hybrid. All at Kendall. Call 305-KENDALL and text WQAM at 305-567-0560.
It's We'll Buy Your Car time at AutoNation. We'll buy your car, we'll buy your truck, we'll buy your SUV. Get tip-top dollar for your car right now because, well, we need every vehicle we can get. Plus, you don't have to buy one from us. Visit AutoNation.com or see us in store for an easy appraisal and get paid the same day. And in case you missed it, AutoNation will buy your car today. So get here, like now. Subject to in-store verification, vehicle condition, and mileage. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
If I would have kept making only the minimum payments on my credit cards, my debt would have taken me 47 years to pay off.
These are real National Debt Relief customers.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to get out of debt by myself.
Credit card, medical, or personal loan debt? National Debt Relief negotiates with your creditors to reduce what you owe.
National Debt Relief got me out of debt.
You could be debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months. Visit nationaldebtrelief.com to learn more and get started. nationaldebtrelief.com.
The Black Keys, Jelly Roll, and so many more are taking over Fort Lauderdale Beach on December 2nd and 3rd. Enter for your chance to win the national contest, a flyaway to the 2-day Odyssey Riptide Music Festival. Go to odyssey.com/Riptide. Sponsored by Spirit. Travel more with Spirit and the free Spirit MasterCard. Spirit flies to over 90 destinations throughout the U.S., Latin America, and the Caribbean and has one of the youngest fleets in the U.S. Enter the flyaway contest now to Fort Lauderdale, Florida at odyssey.com/Riptide.
What's up, everybody? I'm Danny Parkins, based out of Chicago. This is my buddy Andrew Filipponi. He's based out of Pittsburgh. You really got to check out our podcast, First and Pod.
Twice a week, we're going to break down the NFL after Thursday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. It's every team. It's every game. It's all 32 teams. We give you a complete picture, and we get into it. We don't kiss each other's fannies on this show.
New episodes of First and Pod available when you wake up every Monday and Friday morning throughout the football season in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ready? Game time. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks presents Inter Miami CF MLS action here. The home of Inter Miami CF. AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Let's go.
Brought to you by Celsius, the official energy drink of Inter Miami CF. Pass to Celsius. Celsius. Still Celsius. Goal! Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of Inter Miami CF.
Let's go. And welcome into live commentary of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final as tonight, Inter Miami CF take on Houston Dynamo in the search of a second trophy in 39 days. Inter Miami looking to beat Houston Dynamo. And by the way, this is a tournament that every single member of the Inter Miami squad has played a role in. First game back in April against Miami FC, then beat Charleston Battery, then Nashville SC, then Birmingham Legion before the arrival of Inter Miami's new stars, Sergio Busquets, Lionel Messi, and Jordi Alba. Then with them, they beat FC Cincinnati 2-2 after 90, 3-3 after 120 minutes, 5-4 on penalties. And Miami get to this stage, take on Houston Dynamo. Headline tonight in terms of the team news: no Lionel Messi available from the start for this one. Of course, a major disappointment for the club to not have him in the starting lineup, nor is he even available from the bench. But this team has stepped up in his absence, and this will be the team that will step up in his absence. Drake Callender will be in goal. DeAndre Yedlin, Sergei Krivtsov, Kamal Miller, and Noah Allen will make up the back four from right to left. In midfield, Sergio Busquets, Diego Gomez, and Benjamin Kremaski, the front three. Facundo Farias, Leonardo Campana, and Robert Taylor. It will be Inter Miami to start with possession of the ball. They will be going from left to right in the first half of play. Leo Campana stood in the heart of the center circle. The intro, the scenes around the stadium, this is
Incredible.
a big night.
Yeah,
this is
huge.
a big occasion.
It feels like a final, no doubt.
And we felt this way in Nashville, and it's certainly that kind of energy here tonight in the ground. For Houston Dynamo, Andrew Tarbell in goal. Their Cup goalkeeper has only started one game in MLS, but has continued on in the Open Cup. Right to left back four of Griffin Dorsey, Eric Zviatchenko, Mikhail, and Franco Escobar. Midfield three of Artur, Hector Herrera, Amin Bassi, and a front three of Alberto Carrasquilla, Corey Baird, and Nelson Quinones. All black kits tonight with these silver accents tonight for Houston. All pink kits for Inter Miami. As we await the indication for the start of this one. Crowd in full voice ahead of this one. What a build-up it has been. Inter Miami in search of another trophy, going for La Segunda. As we're underway from Drive Pink Stadium, Inter Miami and Houston Dynamo in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final. And it is Miami who do start with possession of the ball, coming in off a 1-1 draw away at Orlando at the weekend, but that is an MLS. This is the Open Cup, a tournament that has been played since 1914. Miami trying to add their name to the illustrious history of this tournament. It is Houston who have won back possession. Amin Bassi sliding to Carrasquilla. Come on, Miller having to deal with his own area. He gets rid, but only as far as Griffin Dorsey, who's come well forward for Houston on that right side. Now about 20 yards from goal, Dorsey has it in front of the touchline and slides it back to Ache in towards the area in Carrasquilla. A touch to it there from Diego Gomez, and again Miami clearing lines, going all the way up to Eric Zviatchenko, who goes all the way back to Andrew Tarbell, the goalkeeper tonight for Houston Dynamo.
And there was a big discussion, Chris, should the Dynamo follow the Cincinnati blueprint, low block, or try to outpossess and be aggressive? Well, the start pretty much tells you they're going for it.
Facundo Farias having a backtrack as Franco Escobar getting forward from left back, going all the way, tries the shot, and it was kind of an awkward one. He didn't really catch it cleanly, and it's a kind bounce into the arms of Drake Callender, your player to watch tonight, Fernando.
Yeah, and La Familia started to chant and cheer right now. The flags are waving. We need that extra man on the field today. We know that we don't have Messi on the pitch or on the bench, but we will certainly be felt from the stadium, from the fans, from the North Stand. Oh, man, it's a positive vibe.
We saw Messi on the cameras here in the stadium walking towards his field suite, close to the technical areas. Yedlin trying to get forward on the 1-2 with Kremaski down the right. Franco Escobar couldn't keep it in play. Throw in taken quickly from Farias, who spreads it out to Gomez through the middle of the pitch. He instead plays it out to Taylor on the left side. Into the penalty area, Robert Taylor cutting onto his left. Slides it back to Gomez, edge of the area. The challenge coming in, and it's a strong win as well. Looked like Ache, who was able to win it back. It was actually Escobar who emerged with it. Coming forward, Bassi for Houston wins a free kick off of the challenge of Benjamin Kremaski. But solid work from Miami in the build-up on the edge of the area.
Yeah, extremely solid. Farias coming inside, finding Taylor, cutting inside, threatening that right-footed shot, but finds Gomez, whose first touch really lets him down. Chris Whittingham, and the hand towards the face is pretty much an international one. Ooh, if I get that one just better prepared, I can strike the ball of goal about 20 yards out. Good, though, in transition.
Zviatchenko hitting the big switch of play out towards the left side. DeAndre Yedlin trying to get there, but it's Nelson Quinones who does on the left wing about 25 yards from goal. He comes towards the middle now. Quinones sliding it back to Herrera, and now Artur going back to Mikhail on the halfway line. The center back who was with the MLS Next Pro side of Houston Dynamo 2 last year.
By the way, I'm going to pat myself in the back. I talked about that long diagonal switch with the center backs, Chris, in my pregame about Houston. we just saw one of them.
A raking one there from Zviatchenko. It's a poor one, though, from Artur. Straight to Farias, who runs himself into trouble. Ache, who's put out a couple fires, wins it, but then gives it to Campana, who can get going forward for Miami into the Houston half. Campana now taking touches on it, trying to slide it out to Taylor. It was a poor ball, though. Griffin Dorsey there to close the window. Now Carrasquilla trying to catch Drake Callender off his line. It's a poor effort as well, and we'll go all the way for a goal kick. Ben Olsen throwing both hands out as if to say, let's calm down, everybody. That shot was a bit rash.
And then transition, now playing with one focal point, whereas in Orlando a few days ago. Chris, you and I were there as well. Was both obviously number 9, now Leo Campana, who drops into midfield. Is a great linker, but it's almost like he had too many options. You have Benja Kamansky running over his shoulder, or an early ball to Taylor, upped it late, got cut out. But again, Campana.
And Busquets was trying to play up to Campana. Rare, we don't see this very often. A lot of rain coming through the stadium when Campana went to go for that touch. A puddle kicking up on the edge of the center circle.
And a few guys have slipped a little bit as well, so the footing is not the greatest.
No, it is wet. It is wet. And a lot of mistakes in these first 4 minutes. It seems like everybody's nervous. A little bit of nervousness.
Of course, it's a cup final you would come to expect that, but Kremaski does well to win it back here for Miami. Out to the right side, Farias, about 25 yards to goal. Clips the crossing, but it's over the head there of Gomez. We saw the trajectory on it. It was the right one. Just had a bit too much air underneath it. And recovered by Houston. Nearly 5 minutes gone in this first half. And it will be a free kick to Houston as the challenge coming in on Dorsey a bit further back.
This is weird. It's not a free kick against Kamal Miller. I think it was offsides on Diego Gomez. That was called real late again. And if that play would have continued, it probably would have been a foul on Kamal Miller. Maybe a foul on Diego Gomez there. Who, by the way, and we talked about it in the pregame as well, as soon as we saw the 11 that Tata rolled out, this is an aggressive attacking lineup. And Diego Gomez already once with the ball and once without the ball, trying to break lines beyond Leo Campana being the spearhead for Inter Miami.
You do see some orange in the ground, as some Houston fans have made the trip.
Not many.
And also a traveling section in section 127.
Well, what I can see right here, right next to me in section 104, front row, is Pablo Campana, Leo's father.
Oh, very nice.
And the family.
Kamal Miller winning the header there for the Herons, but recovered by Houston on halfway. Mikael receives it, slides it out to Franco Escobar, the former Atlanta United left back.
Yeah, experienced one as well. Won 2 MLS titles. Loves to go forward, but a little bit more conservative than on the right side, where Dorsey loves to bump forward in a very condensed, narrow attack that Houston normally deploys.
Now, Mikael again, as Houston playing out from the back, getting out to the left side now. Escobar in for Quiñones, the 20-year-old who played for Once Caldas in Colombia. Now, Herrera, edge of the center circle, the Mexican legend in that midfield, has played very well this season. Now Carrasquilla getting forward for Houston, nicely into Baird, interchange edge of the area, comes for Baird again off the back of Carrasquilla. Kremaski trying to get rid, but Herrera put his laces through it and smashed it about 20 rows deep into the stand here at Dry Pig Stadium and away for a goal kick.
You're right now see Sergio Busquets real quick glancing towards Benja and Diego Gomez as well. We talked about that central combination play, Chris, that this Houston Dynamo team does so well. 1 or 2 touches, and they advance there as well. So important for Gomez and Benja to give us something going forward, but also take care of their defensive responsibility and help Busquets.
Another slip by Kremaski, man.
Yedlin was trying to play forward in towards Kremaski. He did slip in his attempt to receive it. Comes for Farias on the right side.
Yeah, we don't expect more rain, Chris, so this thing should really settle in a few minutes and should be fine. Actually, most players prefer this over an extreme dry field, in particular guys that like to leave their feet like Kamal Miller and slide tackle on a wetter surface will carry you just a little bit further.
That's what you like in your time, huh?
Yes, sir.
Campana, nice first touch out to the right, and Yedlin's in space now coming forward into the attacking half. Poor ball, though, in behind in towards Kremaski. Yedlin, though, trying to win it back. He's won it cleanly in the judge with the referee. Yedlin now in a good crossing position, gets it into the area, away from Sviatchenko, and away for a throw-in down the near side.
Interesting, Chris. We talked about the narrow shape of Houston. So Tata Martino with 2 traditional fullbacks out of a back 4, and Taylor higher up the pitch really are going out wide initially beyond Escobar and Mr. Dorsey.
Throw-in eventually won back by Houston. Baird trying to keep it. He's done so with Herrera. Goes back towards the left side, almost away from the momentum of the play, finding Bassi in space. Forward into Herrera. He now gets forward, trying to play it in towards Baird, but Noah Allen had it well read and wins it back for Miami. Now Krivtsov in his own half. Nicely slid out towards Yedlin. First time into Kremaski in the middle. Nice turn on it.
Good ball by Sergi to avoid pressure because Herrera continued to press right there. That's the way to play out of it.
It's a lovely build-up here for Miami. Now Taylor charging down the left. That's Noah Allen running with him. Carries on Taylor. Crunched by a couple. Sviatchenko closed the door. Now Gomez trying to win it back. He goes through the back, though, of Coco Carrasquilla. It is a free kick to Houston Dynamo in their own half.
And Taylor just acknowledging Noah Allen. And I understand that Taylor feels good in that position to cut inside and try to find a shot as well. And that second time when Noah Allen goes, you have to now say, hey, I'm going to slide that ball in for you. First time cross. We got good numbers in the box as well. Good options there. Dribble penetration, overleg off the shoulders of a left fullback on both sides. We've been very good. And again, we seem to attack the one out wide where lesser numbers of Houston aren't finding isolations.
Now Herrera playing it from the short free kick. Campana trying to harry him. And he eventually gets out of his feet and finds Artur, the Brazilian midfielder.
Yeah, Artur sits most of the time, but that midfield triangle just continues to rotate a lot for Houston. You'll see Herrera playmaker times. Then all of a sudden he pops up underneath Baird as well. Great engine Hector Herrera always had in his playing career.
Nearing on 10 minutes gone in the Open Cup final. Miami 0, Houston 0.
And right now Hector Herrera is finding the ball.
Oh, and it's a fortunate bounce as the press came. Comes for Bassi, now getting forward. Quinones for Houston. Quinones into the penalty area. Cutting inside. Quinones' strike is blocked there by Kamal Miller. Fantastic defending there. Miller still with more work to do. And Noah Allen now will pick it up on this left side and slide it forward into Taylor.
What a play by Miller. He really put his body right there. Como diríamos en español, le puso el pecho a las balas.
And again, if you talk about matchups right there, Quinones against Yetlin, obviously. Coco against Noah Allen. Always trying to cut inside, and you're going to step on DeAndre Yetlin. But Kamal Miller, as El Presidente says, stepping in.
Now coming forward, Houston. Dorsey into the area. Diving header in there for Miller.
Again, Kamal Miller cutting out that one there, because I'm telling you, Corey Baird had a step on Sergi Crystal right there. That would have been a glanced header. Now, in the last minute, both fullbacks being exposed after dribble penetration and getting crosses in, which we don't want to see very often, because that's how Atlanta United, by the way, took us to the cleaners. What a game, by the way. Both teams really driven to go after each other in these early stages, Chris.
And it will be a corner to come from the right side. Ache is over it. He's going to swing it in with his left foot. Normally a right-footed player. Interested to take a corner left-footed. Swing it into the penalty area, in towards the near post. Good header there from Dorsey. Ball it away, though, from Gomez. Sent back to the area from Corey Baird of Houston and cleared by Miami. Busquets now volleying forward, and Farias is going to try and track the bounce and play it out of the air. He got an initial touch, but eventually recovered there by Escobar, who then cleans out Benjamin Kremaski, and it's going to be a card coming from the referee, John Freeman, who's going to try and cool the temperature after that challenge. And it's a yellow card shown in the direction of Franco Escobar. Got a leg up high and absolutely clattered into Kremaski.
Now, and Ben Olsen is pleading with the fourth official, but that's a yellow card. No need, I think, to be that vocal about it with other players going after the referee with their hands up.
And their legs up.
That's an obvious one. Respect is still very important. I know this is a one-off, but twice now into Miami, almost going in transition. Farias just couldn't get a handle. Kremansky reads and sniffs out that second ball, goes as well. When Houston gets numbers forward into Miami in transition, can hurt this team.
And Busquets recognized that moment by playing the long ball over the top. Yep. Franco Escobar, by the way, in MLS has 9 yellow cards in 24 games. Now, Kamal Miller going long in behind. Noah Allen's going to get there ahead of Sviatchenko. Goes for the early cross in towards Campana. It's Mikhail, though, under not much pressure, able to get rid from the penalty area. Now, Carrasquilla down the right. Miami trying to press and harrying and cause Houston a problem. Gomez going in there on Dorsey. Slides it back to Sviatchenko, who will now just hit the long ball up towards halfway. Sergei Krivtsov will let it bounce, and DeAndre Yedlin will volley it back to Dre Callender.
It's pretty amazing. Youth is being served again. Shows you that Tata Martino says and trusts his young players. Noah Allen again, the great overlapping ball. Actually, Leo Campana doesn't read that one well. They should have been moving and sprinting to that near post. Benja Kamansky again holding up the ball, looking for that pressure. And obviously the contact of Herrera and draws that foul. But the two youngsters have been absolutely brilliant as of late.
Miller with a heavy ball up towards Taylor. Carrasquilla does well to control. Getting forward was being harried there by Allen, but it was a wayward pass, and referee allows play on. Miami back in possession in their own half. Now Miller Gives it to
almost
Diego Gomez.
feels like that the game is being won or lost, or let's say through almost the first 50 minutes out wide, where both teams have players in 1v1 situations that can hurt you. And obviously players, in particular, into Miami, that come from deep, be it Noah Allen or Yetland.
Miller with a poor ball up towards Farias, but Miami able to recover back through Busquets. Challenge on Farias, eventually came towards Kremaski. Krivtsov trying to volley it forward, but under some pressure, it was a poor one, and Herrera able to get onto it. Quiñones now charging at Krivtsov, going towards the byline, and the strike comes in, parried there from Callender, and it wasn't the best save into the middle of the area, but Busquets was there to fully deal with the danger.
Yeah,
and
that's
calmly as well.
Second time that Quiñones gets the better, first of Yetland, then of Krishna.
Here we go. Nice ball there from Gomez into Farias, who has plenty of space to run into. Will slide out to the right side, and Kremaski. Kremaski to hit the early ball, try to send it back in towards Farias, but it was Artur in the way, who had it read the entire way, and recovers possession for Houston. Now Herrera trying to turn away from it. Goes into Sergio Busquets. Those two well acquainted from their time in La Liga. HH for Atletico, Busquets, of course, for Barcelona.
And one thing to consider, Chris, and we'll talk about this when this game goes on, if it stays tied, is that a one-day extra rest for Houston could be huge. We saw Berja, Kremansky, and Noah Allen actually cramp up in the last game in Orlando in the late stages. Stayed on, but went through it. And yeah, we knew this would be a tough matchup, and now Sergi stepping in.
And catching a healthy chunk of Coco Carrasquilla. He earns himself a yellow card. So John Freeman laying down a marker in the first quarter of an hour. Both teams earning themselves yellow cards in these stages. 0-0, 15 minutes gone here at Drive Pink Stadium, and a free kick to come on the halfway line.
And a beautiful, nice 77 degrees. Look at the moon. Look at that moon. Beautiful light.
Can't see it here from our booth here. Must be high up in the night sky.
Yeah, well, it's great for me.
There's a big switch out towards Quiñones. Finds him in an offside position.
Full moon?
I don't know, man. It looks like a pretty full to me.
Okay.
And this is my advantage from being right here.
Being pitch side.
Beautiful moon.
And this is, we don't know what to expect of one-off games and finals. Sometimes certain teams or the one team plays very tight. Both teams clearly making a commitment to go after each other. And this is one of the better 0-0 finals I've seen in a long time.
Now Farias taking down on the near side, trying to keep down the right, trying to get beyond Escobar, who gives it away, gives it straight to Campana. Switches on towards Taylor, but not enough height on the ball. Taylor was in plenty of space, but Dorsey was in the way. Campana didn't put enough underneath that to find its target, Taylor. Now Mikael forward in towards Bassi in the Miami half. Busquets trying to cause him a problem. Slides it back to Artur. Nice ball forward. Kremaski had it ready, got a piece, but it did come for HH. Now Carrasquilla getting forward down the right side. Griffin Dorsey slides it back to Artur. Now Carrasquilla and Artur interchanging passes, and really that Houston midfield is such a big influence in their turnaround this year. HH, Carrasquilla, and Artur is quite the trio. Now Quiñones again getting forward down the left, trying to get beyond Yedlin, crosses in, and Corey Baird directed the header towards goal, but it had too much air underneath it, and it sails over the bar and away for a goal kick, but a warning sign. Nelson Quiñones getting plenty of joy down that left side.
Yes, sir. That's the third time, Chris, that he's been able to get away. The first one, he cut inside. Kamal Miller blocks that one after Yedlin. The second two times, and he drops that shoulder. He can go both ways, and he's pretty darn good. That left and right foot gets the better again of Sergi Christmas. So Tata Martino looked at Yetland and says, you got to be a little bit tighter there as well. 2v1 situations, if you can overload a certain area, make it harder for those wide players to have to play negative and not being able to get end line and get those crosses in.
Nice turn on it from Busquets to keep it.
And Corey Beard again with a very aggressive early run.
Noah Allen, a touch too many, and he ran into trouble, gave it away. And now Noah Allen, trying to slow down Carrasquilla on the break, pulls at his shirt and earns a yellow card from the referee, John Freeman. And now half of that Miami back line on yellow cards.
Too much speed for Quiñones. He left Yedlin on the dust. And that's the problem right there. That's why he has to be a little closer.
Allen, though, giving away that free kick. Sort of ran into space and was caught in two minds, didn't get the pass away quickly enough, and earns himself a booking. Carrasquilla has earned two off Miami players in these early stages. Nearing on 19 minutes gone at Drive Pink Stadium. A packed house tonight for a cup final. Miami trying to win another trophy. Carrasquilla out to the right side. Allen in the way. Heads away for a throw.
Sitting on a yellow, Chris. I've been sitting on yellows as a young player, but also as a veteran player. You got Sergi on a yellow that probably knows how to manage that. Noah Allen right now needs to be disciplined and understand, as Thomas Avilas did not in the Orlando game and got yanked at the halftime as well, but he's got to stay on his feet and keep play in front of him.
Dorsey with the throw-in to come from the right side. Launch forward in towards Amin Bassi, who had gotten him beyond this defense. Bassi now getting turned edge of the area just ahead of the byline. Now Baird on the right wing, keeping it for Houston, sliding it back to Artur, who's withdrawn from the attack. And now can get his head up and pick out the option. Clipped in towards Carrasquilla. It's a good ball into the penalty area. Carrasquilla's cutback comes through the box. It's Callender and Krivtsov who combine to get it away. Didn't seem like there was clear communication there. It came off one of them and away for a corner to Houston Dynamo.
Houston's done a great job by getting numbers forward in their possession game as well. So it's not only Corey Baird that occupies two center backs, and this falls favorably for them as well. Noah Allen is caught, and all of a sudden, the third or fourth ball that comes to Chris, Blake Cameron gets a piece of it, and then hits actually Christoph and goes out for a corner. But clearly right now, through these first 20 minutes, you got the better half chances have fallen for Houston Dynamo.
And now Herrera to put in another corner from the right side with his weaker left. This time more air on it. Mikael going up for it, gets a piece. Callender off his line and leaps to claim and falls with the ball.
Yeah, interesting though. I talked to Glenn Davis, who works obviously in Houston, and gave me some information and said one thing they haven't been good at, and Herrera takes all their free kicks, all their corners and set pieces. They have not scored a lot and have conceded some as well, which in a tight game could be a difference maker, Chris Whittingham.
Yedlin trying to go outside of the boot down the line on the right side, but gave it away. Now Herrera pings off him, but does manage to come kindly for Bassi. Now in the middle, Carrasquilla on halfway. Slides it back to Sviatchenko, the Ukrainian center back for Houston.
Coco does so many little things right to both sides of the ball. Brilliant two-way player.
Around the corner.
Yeah, there's that tight combination play.
Yeah, nicely done there. Amin Bassi, the Frenchman getting forward. 25-year-old. Slides it out to Quinones. Coming inside of Yedlin. Tries to switch the play, but gave it away cheaply. And now Noah Allen was running into space, but Gomez put a bit too much on the pass, and Allen was unable to get there, recovered by Sviatchenko. Now Carrasquilla, nice ball in towards Quinones, who receives ahead of Yedlin. He'll now go for the strike, trying to curl it, spilled by Callender, who saves on the rebound. Massive there. Corey Baird with a huge chance on the doorstep. Double save there from Drake Callender to keep this game at 0-0.
Unbelievable. That bender just came in, and I'm telling you, that took a lot of athleticism to get quickly in that upper V. And actually, Drake, instead of pushing it over, wants to hold on to it. Falls to the ground like a wide receiver. Ball bubbles a little bit, but then the second save with his right leg is absolutely incredible. And that's why Drake Callender has been absolutely brilliant this year, keeping his team in games, which he has done right now.
Chris, what was my player to watch?
Your player to watch was Drake Callender.
There you go.
Yeah, well,
huge there.
He gives an unnecessary rebound up. Thank
Right.
God he saved the second one.
Yeah, stuck his boot out. Corey Baird is about 4 yards from goal, and he just hit it into the legs there of Callender. His switch there from Taylor is a good one to find Kremaski on the right side. Miami now getting into the attack. Kremaski now pull back in towards Farias, now edge of the D. Towards the right side, gets it back to Kremaski, more of a crossing position here. Kremaski looking for a pass. There's the one really on. Busquets pointing him back in the direction of Sergei Krivtsov. About 15 yards into the Houston half as Miami will now cycle possession. Miller out to the left, he with Noah Allen. 23 minutes on.
First time with some sustained possession right now, pushing the Dynamo into their own half.
Now Krivtsov. 23 minutes gone. 0-0 in the Open Cup final. Krivtsov now going direct up towards Farias, who lets it bounce to Escobar. Away there from Mikael. It's a throw into Inter Miami. Now Yedlin will take the throw-in. Get into Farias on the right side with back to goal. And now carry it back here. Farias turning. Looking for the option. We'll go outside of the boot back, but he's giving it away to Amin Bassi. It's a poor pass. He's trying to find Miller on halfway. Now in behind. Corey Baird's going to get there. Krivtsov at full stretch just to try and slow down Corey Baird. Gets his head up and looks for the next passing option. It's with Artur on the right. On for Griffin Dorsey. First touch into the area. His strike is the opening goal for Houston Dynamo. Laces it over the head of Drake Callender. It finds the back of the net, and Houston Dynamo have opened the scoring in this cup final with a counter-attacking goal in the 24th minute. It's Miami 0, Houston 1.
Again, we talked about transition after both teams lose balls in bad spots. Into Miami again, unnecessary loss of possession, and all of a sudden this Dynamo team in transition gets good numbers forward and moved up ball with some pace as well. Beard involved, the overlapping, and again, TR, you're spot on. Yes, they are very, very central and very narrow, but Dorsey's given them the width and depth from deep positions. Great strike from a tough angle. Great interplay. Christoph again cannot catch up with Beard, gets his head up, and then all of a sudden Coco draws in 2 or 3 players, and then you get a 2v1. Noah Allen late, Kamal Miller coming over late, and I'm telling you, that's, although it goes near post, no chance for Drake Callender. Overpowered him, shoelaces, upper V, near post of Drake Callender. 1-0 for Houston, and you probably have to say, deservedly so.
Everything started with a bad pass from Farias right at the other end of the field, and then Christoph just saw the ball passing by. What an unfortunate play by the Argentinian.
And Miami now will have to go again, trailing by a goal. As they did in the semifinal, they trailed by 2 goals in the semifinal.
Nothing new then.
Now Krivtsov slides it out to Yedlin on the near side.
It's so important, Chris, that you need to maintain some level of balance. You cannot always send your 2 fullbacks. No Allen is caught. Taylor cannot catch up right there with Mr. Dorsey as well. And I've said out wide is where this game might be won or lost. Well, Houston is taking advantage.
Now Taylor from the left hitting the switch out to the right here with Yedlin, who takes off the chest. Didn't see the option in there into Busquets, who he gives to Kremaski. Now Krivtsov to the left here with Miller. Miami trying to pull Houston apart. Trailing by a goal to 0. Allen. Back to Taylor. Of course, Miami tonight without Lionel Messi. A huge miss. Even available from the bench. Now Kremaski trying to go quickly. Saw Farias making a run in behind, but an easy step and an easy win there for Escobar. And now Houston trying to get forward. Pop forward there by Artur. Carrasquilla looked like he might have caught Allen there, but the referee allows play to continue as he judged that Houston won the ball there through Carrasquilla. Now Quinones getting forward down the left here for Houston Dynamo, where he's had so much joy running at Yedlin, and then will turn and play it back into Herrera. Now Mikael, the center back for Houston, is the Dynamo keep a bit of possession. Back there from Artur into Sviatchenko. On the center circle, trying to hit the switch. Campana put him under pressure, and it's one back here by Miami. And now Farias getting forward down the right side. Facundo Farias plays it into Taylor in the middle. First time in towards Kremaski. Massively overhit the ball. Will go out for a goal kick. And when we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station notification across the Inter Miami radio network.
This is Inter Miami CF Soccer on WQAM Miami, WPOW HD2 Miami, WKIS HD2 Boca Raton, and Odyssey Station.
1-0 to Houston Dynamo after 27 minutes of this Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final. Inter Miami finding themselves behind on Cup final night as Miller controls out of the air on the clearance there from Houston. Recovered by Noah Allen on the left side for Miami. Getting forward, looking for the passing option. You see almost 2 going around Busquets at all times, not allowing him to control the game. Now trying to find himself space by pointing Kamal Miller into a different position. Now Gomez receiving in the center circle, going back to Miller, and now slided up to Busquets on the left side. Busquets now, ahead of Corey Baird, will slide Kamal Miller into the attack. On halfway, Miami controlling possession. Sergei Krivtsov to the right here, with Yedlin. Gomez back to Krivtsov. Miami trying to enjoy a bit of possession here into the heart of the pitch here with Miller. Slides it out with pace to Busquets, who gets forward down that left side. Busquets now to the left here with Taylor. Taylor given the space to cut inside. Taylor now will again switch the point of attack out to the right side here with Yedlin ahead of Quinones. Yedlin going inside rather than down the line. Slides it back to Krivtsov. Miami again getting numbers forward, committing numbers forward into the attack. Miller into the center circle of the Houston side of the pitch. Slides it across to Krivtsov now. Krivtsov. Go forward in towards Kremaski, who slipped to the vital moment. Giving away now to Escobar, who can get forward here for Houston. Forward into Baird. Offside flag will come up on the far side, and it will be a free kick to Miami, just as it looked like their break could have been on. And the referee now giving a warning to Coco Carrasquilla for delaying the restart. Booted the ball forward when the whistle had long gone. Free kick taken quickly. Busquets into Gomez. Nicely forward out to the left side here with Robert Taylor. Noah Allen going beyond him in the overlap. Taylor will play him in. Allen now looking for the cross, lofts it in, and he slipped on it at the vital moment. Goes slicing away for a goal kick to Houston Dynamo. Nearing on a half hour gone, Miami trailing by a goal to nil.
Yeah, very interesting to see, Chris, that although the goal comes of a counter, Farias loses the ball, that through possession, Houston is able to carve out still opportunities. Through possession, Inter Miami right now has not done anything in that final third. And all of a sudden, they look devoid of ideas, and all of a sudden, the Messi-less Inter Miami doesn't look very creative, whereas Houston has been pretty darn good.
Time for the bench to warm up. Martinez, Ruiz, McVeigh, Arroyo, Stefanelli, Aviles.
Subs being put through their paces as it will be a throw-in to Houston. Ache doing really well to control in front of a few Miami pressing players.
And one of the great traits of Ben Olsen is able to, just like Bruce Arena told me and the players, try to put players in a position where they can succeed. Dorsey, a former Indiana Hoosier, a winger, by the way, turned into right fullback by Ben Olsen.
Nicely won there by Allen. Forward into Busquets. Outside the boot towards Farias, but his momentum had slowed. Big sliding challenge there from Escobar. And now Bassi carrying forward for Houston. Forward and on into space goes Escobar now. Going beyond the Miami defense into the Houston half. Now Escobar in behind in towards Quiñones. Yedlin trying to put the challenge in, and that is a penalty kick. DeAndre Yedlin sliding to try and win it. He caught too much of Quiñones, and a penalty is coming here to Houston.
I don't see that one.
And a yellow card shown to DeAndre Yedlin as well.
Yeah, I'm seriously, even if you go to VAR, this won't be overturned. There's clearly contact from behind. Maybe not a lot, but enough for this one to be called. Yedlin caught. He knows it. He tries to now get a little piece of the ball. That's 100% penalty. Goes over the ball, gets a little contact on the ball, but more so on that right leg of Quiñones. 100% penalty. And again, Inter Miami hurt in transition after Busquets. Can't link with Farias. 3 passes later, boom, Houston is there. That's the difference in the game right now. Inter Miami can't do anything in transition. Inter Miami is not able, through sustained possession, to carve out any opportunities so far. We got a double save of Drake Callender. We got the goal of Dorsey. We had a half chance of Baird. Houston right now, the better team. And this is huge for Inter Miami and Drake Callender.
And it's Amin Bassi who is over it. Scored quite a few penalties in MLS so far this season. For Houston this year, has converted 8 penalties, including one in the Open Cup against Chicago Fire in the quarterfinal.
Quiricocho.
And it's Bassi against Callender. He approaches the ball. Bassi down the middle, and he scores for Houston. Houston Dynamo 2-0 up in the Open Cup final over Inter Miami. Amin Bassi converting the penalty won by Nelson Quiñones. And Houston in a strong position now in this first half.
Great game plan by, obviously, the Houston Dynamo, who have a healthy team to pick from. We talked about Messi. I think also now fairly clearly where the first goal comes from. The experience of Jordi Alba on that left side is sorely missed. And in defensive transition, Chris, you and I talked about that back four right now, but in particular, centrally, with not a swift Krzysztof or Sergio Busquets and Yedlin falling asleep on that run right there. Very vulnerable in transition. Houston getting behind him quite often, either through passing or dribble penetration.
And it's Bassi who gets the goal, has 9 in MLS, 6 from the penalty spot. Converts his 9th penalty of this season for Houston, who now lead by 2-0 over Inter Miami in the 34th minute of this cup final. Now Yedlin down the near side, trying to go in behind up towards Farias, but it's won there by Escobar. Herrera volleying it back to Andrew Tarbell, whose name we've barely called tonight. In goal for Houston. And the Houston Dynamo supporters enjoying themselves.
Section 127 is up on high.
Yeah, they're in full voice enjoying their night out. Is now Houston again coming forward. Carrasquilla and Baird slip back to Artur. Getting it back from Herrera.
We are very flat, definitely.
Down the right side, Sviatchenko interchanging there with Griffin Dorsey. Now Herrera in behind. It's given straight to Taylor. One back by Gomez, but he couldn't quite help it on. One back by Artur in that middle. Artur nicely dinked in towards Carrasquilla, nicely volleyed back towards Herrera. Some sumptuous football being played by Houston right now. Out to the left here, Quiñones. Ahead of Yedlin again. Slides it back to Amin Bassi, about 25 yards from goal. In the middle here, Artur. Gets his head up, looks to find the pass. It's chipped out to the left here, Escobar. Helping it on here for Quiñones. Cannot help but be impressed so far with the play of Houston. Abbasi now in behind into Baird. The cutback for Carrasquilla, whose volleyed effort goes over the bar. That would have been the end of a brilliant move, but Carrasquilla couldn't control his finish.
Quiñones is having a party right here.
Total domination by Ben Olsen's Houston Dynamo. They're fun to watch, Chris, and we knew that.
Fun, I want to cry, man.
We've scouted this team over and over again, and they've got certain elements in this team that can hurt it. The Miami, they've done that.
Nice step there from Escobar as Yedlin tried to play it forward into Farias, who's got to try and control here, but Bassi's won it back for Houston. Now Houston forward about 30 yards to goal. Herrera going for goal with a long-distance strike. Took a deflection as Gomez put the challenge in, so we'll be a corner to Houston to come from the right side.
And one of the things if Houston right now, the variety of attacks, Chris Whittingham, dribble penetration of their wingers, strikes from distance as Herrera, entry balls into the box, through balls on that second goal that leads to a penalty. Very hard to defend right now, the team that clearly feels very good about where they're at and plays with a huge level of confidence.
And now Herrera to play in the corner from the right side. Callender taking command of his area. Left-footed delivery from the right side. In swinging into the box. Lofton and Mikael going for it, but it's Miller who wins the header for Miami. Comes out to the left side. Bassi will play it for Houston. Lofted back in towards the area, but it's Allen who can volley it away. Farias trying to play the second ball. Just couldn't win it there off of Baird, who comes forward. Baird into the area. Baird's strike is off of Krivtsov, and now recovered here by Noah Allen, who will eventually lump it clear. Only as far, though, as Dorsey. Header is towards Coco Carrasquilla, who keeps it here for Houston. Turning on it. Now forward now into Baird. And Bassi, the challenge in from Krivtsov as well, won. Now trying to emerge from it, Farias, and he's done so. He's switched flanks as well with Taylor. Challenge coming in on the right side, though. Escobar winning it back for Houston. Now Artur, 38th minute. Miami trailing by 2-0. Mikael going back to Campana. Miami have to see some initiative in this game, as Houston right now are in control of the play. Mikael in the middle here with Artur. Deep in their own half, Houston playing out from the back. Artur going forward in towards Bear. It's poorly given away. Good press there from Miami to force the giveaway. Miller now out towards Krivtsov on the near side on the halfway line. Stepping forward into the Houston half. Stopping on it. Looking for the next pass. It's with Yedlin on the right side. Now forward into Taylor. Taylor and Kremaski turning away from the pressure, but putting Taylor in pressure himself. Kremaski now trying to get beyond Herrera, trying to barrel through quite a few. It's a throw into Houston as Kremaski put the challenge in. And it's away for a throw. Ben Olsen proud of his team's performance patrolling his technical area. Now forward there from Baird, but Krivtsov with the step to win it back. Now wide here for Noah Allen. Plays as the left side of a back four tonight. Gomez just completely whiffed on the touch and is nearly giving it away. Does have to fight to win it back. He now is being harried here by Corey Baird and does manage to get out of it and find Miller. Gomez in his first start for Miami since the international break when he got hurt with Paraguay. Now Campana turning on it ahead of Herrera, giving it to Busquets. Now forward here into Kremaski. Yedlin well forward. Campana back to Busquets, about 40 yards from goal. Slides it to the left side here with Gomez. Now Allen in space off the left. Gives back here to Gomez, and now Miami will again have to recycle possession. Miller for Krivtsov on the right. Stepping forward. In the middle here with Kremaski. Around Bassi, around Herrera. Into Yedlin and into Taylor on the right side. Switch flanks here with Farias. Although Farias has come central, take up an attacking position. Miami cycling possession now through Krivtsov and Miller and Gomez on the left. Giving it back to Krivtsov on the right side, trying to pull this Houston team apart. Krivtsov trying to slide it towards Taylor, but not enough pace on it. Poked away from Quinones. Away for a throw to Miami to come from the right side.
And now it's going to get dangerous. You make one bad pass, and Quinones will be right here in the opposite box.
Busquets, though, has won the throw and chested it down to Yedlin, who smashes it towards the middle. Slightly overhit towards Miller, but can recover on the left side just into Miami's half. Now Allen on the left. Or rather, this is Farias, who's come well back. Busquets. First time just leaving it there for Miller. And on for Krivtsov. Forward here into Benja Kremaski. Lofted into the middle here. Gomez to receive, gives it to Busquets. Poor ball around the corner into Farias. Shouts for handball. Referee letting play continue, but Baird has taken off the chest and is getting forward now for Houston. Baird now turning on it just ahead halfway into the Miami half. Keeping it and sliding out to Quinones on the left side. Poor ball into the middle, given away by Krivtsov, who just sort of lofts it away. And out for a throw, controlled by Tata Martino. And a throw in here for Houston Dynamo.
What a frustration for Martino after talking for 2 weeks that the most important thing was the final of the U.S. Open Cup, and then find out that no Messi, no Alba.
Now Quinones in the middle here. Baird getting forward. Out to the right, Griffin Dorsey joining the attack. Scored the first goal. Cut back in towards Baird is straight at Kamal Miller, who's able to get clear away to Farias, who tries to control ahead of Artur, who's won it back. Brazilian doing well to win it there for Houston. Now Gomez trying to cause Ache a problem. Challenging from Farias. Now Miami's in some space to get forward here. Kremaski as the crowd waves them on. Kremaski forward into Taylor on the right side. Taylor now. Cut back into Campana. Heavy touch. Lefty for Kremaski on the volley. Got underneath it. Sailed it over the bar. Strike coming from about 20 yards out on the right side. And he just couldn't keep his effort down. Miami, though, wave forward, beckon forward on the counterattack.
It's the first time since Tata Martino has arrived that I feel this team is somewhat unprepared, and that's rather shocking, Chris. Getting outrun, dominated, obviously. Facundo Farias not comfortable in his role. Gomez, no impact. Big question mark there. Missing sorely Dixon Arroyo, and in my opinion, Thomas Avilas. That's why I thought he would stick with a 3-5-2 or 5-3-2.
Now Bassi receiving it there from Baird. Forward into Amin Bassi. Coming forward now. In front of three defenders. Able to give it to Quinones. His first time strike. Sailed into the stand and away for a goal kick to Miami. 42 minutes gone. Miami trailing this cup final by 2-0.
We need another miracle like the one in Cincinnati. 2-0 down.
Campana providing the brace in the second half of that one.
Supplied by whom?
Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know.
Now Yedlin.
Hey, I try to keep my spirit high, man.
Now, there's plenty of time. And if the right adjustments are made at halftime, this could still be a game. But to me, it means making at least 2, maybe 3 changes.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, Gomez is...
Miller directed behind and towards Campana, who was onside. Just had too much on that ball. Houston's back line there came unstuck. Campana couldn't quite get on the right end of that ball.
I'm looking here at the subs, and I tell you the truth, I don't know which one will be. I would say Ruiz coming in, and, well...
See what Tata Martino has
on
offer as halftime adjustments. Taylor to win the header on the goal kick there from Tarbell. Herrera, though, getting a touch. Krivtsov letting it bounce. Kremaski, though, coming from behind to win it back for Miami. Gives it to Gomez on the left side. Gomez has Allen running with him. Instead, slides it out to Taylor's in space ahead of Escobar. Charging at the area. Now Yedlin to pick up the loose ball. It's clear there from Mikael. It was off of Yedlin, but somehow came back for Mikael. out of the danger into Quinones. Dangerous ball in the middle. Forward there from Artur into Corey Baird, who invites Griffin Dorsey into the attack. Now Dorsey spots Bossi making the run in behind. He's going to get there ahead of Busquets.
What is he
He's going to run here at Busquets. Bossi beyond Busquets. Now slid into the area. Corey Baird shouts for offside, but it's back to Carrasquilla, who'll go for goal into that bottom left corner, but it's dragged his effort wide. And Sergio Busquets was put in a bad spot there in transition, and Houston unable to make Miami pay.
Very good football by Ben Olsen, playing through that pressure, 1 and 2 touch football, switching the point of attack, getting players involved as well. Into Miami right now, really scrambling. This halftime can't come early enough for Tata Martino to make some of the adjustments that are sorely needed.
Nice dummy there from Busquets. On for Farias into the final minute of the first half. Miami trailing 2-0. Can they get the goal before the break to at least give themselves some forward momentum? Switch there from Farias out towards Taylor on the near side, about 25 yards from goal. Taylor now down the line in towards Yedlin. Covering defending there from Mikael, who just smashes it away for a throw-in to Inter Miami to come down the near side about 10 yards from the byline.
That's another problem. Taylor, he wasn't effective at all during this first 45. We need someone to feed him much better than the first half.
Minimum of 3 minutes to come at the end of this first half. Campana, edge of the area. Slid back to Busquets. First time in towards the area, away from Dorsey. And will come away for a throw-in to Inter Miami, nearing on the halfway line. Now Krivtsov into Miller. Halfway line for Inter Miami. Griffin Dorsey got the first. Penalty converted by Amin Bossi for the second. Taylor now. Turning on it on the right side. Looking for the next passing option. Taylor now trying to cut it infield there. Shouts for hands there against Herrera. Taylor trying to come through and win it off of Escobar. A nice first touch away from that danger. Down the line into Quinones, who could nearly get forward there and control, but he let it run. And it's presented there to Krivtsov. Now Kamal Miller. Out towards the left here. Here is Farias running at Carrasquilla. Farias now lofted towards Taylor. In good space on the right side. Taylor now left back here for DeAndre Yedlin. Shouts to put the cross in. Taylor will now give it back to Yedlin on the right side. He'll let it run towards the inside. Poor ball there to Busquets, but no one there to win it for Houston. It's Miller for Miami. Nicely shaped out to the left here. Allen in a good crossing position. Low and driven through. Sviatchenko away. Campana was reacting, but it didn't have enough pace to get there towards him.
That was a great lane, and Leo actually comes late, but some good defending and not enough power behind that cross, Chris. You're right. And it sums up the first half. Just not good enough in all phases of the game.
Chested back from Sviatchenko towards Andrew Tarbell. And we'll pick it up with both hands now. And just kill a bit of time here with the ball in his hands. And the keeper has only started one game in MLS, but has started every game of the Open Cup run. First time from Tarbell, now out to Mikael on the left side. 2 minutes of the minimum of 3 gone at the end of the first half. Now Escobar down the left side. Coming forward in beyond Taylor. Now Carrasquilla returning for Escobar. Miller having to commit and slide in and win the ball, and he had to do so cleanly, and he managed to do so. Yedlin, though, getting rid only as far, though, as Hector Herrera. He now slides it out to Quinones. Now Herrera. Back to Sviatchenko. To the left here with Mikael.
Not a good night for Yedlin for sure.
Bossi now out to this near side. Quinones back to Herrera. Bossi. And Sviatchenko. Houston finally just killed the final seconds of this first half. Mikael forward into Achacha, but he gave it away. Busquets now. And the challenge in from behind through Busquets there from Hector Herrera. It's going to be a free kick, which Yedlin will take quickly. Forward in towards Kremaski off the chest. Sviatchenko, though, came round him. And that will be the end of this first half. And it will be Houston Dynamo going into the break with a 2-0 lead over Inter Miami. Opening the scoring on the night was Griffin Dorsey of Houston Dynamo. Amin Bossi adding to it with the second penalty converted after it was won by Nelson Quinones. And you scored the break. Inter Miami 0, Houston Dynamo 2. When we come back, we'll bring you our halftime show for this one. Miami will need a comeback as they trail by 2-0 in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Final here on 560 WQAM.
The model year-end sales event starts now at Kendall Toyota, our biggest model year-end event. Take $2,500 off MSRP and the all-new 2023 Toyota Crown Hybrid. Plus, best-selling new Toyota Camrys now $2,500 off. Or get $750 APR bonus cash on new Camry and Camry Hybrids. Offers with approved financing through SCT expires October 2nd. All remaining 2023 must go. Get yours before they're gone. Call Kendall Toyota.
The Black Keys, Jelly Roll, and so many more are taking over Fort Lauderdale Beach on December 2nd and 3rd. Enter for your chance to win the national contest, a flyaway to the 2-day Odyssey Riptide Music Festival. Go to odyssey.com/Riptide. Sponsored by Spirit. Travel more with Spirit and the free Spirit MasterCard. Spirit flies to over 90 destinations throughout the U.S., Latin America, and the Caribbean, and has one of the youngest fleets in the U.S. Enter the flyaway contest now to Fort Lauderdale, Florida at odyssey.com/Riptide.
What's up, everybody? I'm Danny Parkins, based out of Chicago. This is my buddy Andrew Filipponi. He's based out of Pittsburgh. You really got to check out our podcast, First and Pod.
Twice a week, we're going to break down the NFL after Thursday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. It's every team, it's every game, it's all 32 teams. We give you a complete picture, and we get into it. We don't kiss each other's fannies on this show.
New episodes of First and Pod available when you wake up every Monday and Friday morning throughout the football season in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get a 10-pack of our best-selling sauces with free shipping at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
It's halftime, and appropriately enough, it's the Inter Miami Halftime Show on AM 560 Sports WQAM 99.9 HD2 and streaming on the Odyssey app.
Inter Miami trailing in the final of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. 2-0 your score after 45 minutes. Miami tonight without Lionel Messi, trying to give it a go and win a second trophy in 39 days. But so far, Miami have been under the caution. A lot of pressure coming from Houston Dynamo. Really, it comes down, if you look at these stats, Houston Dynamo have 18 shots. Inter Miami have 1.
Wow.
Houston Dynamo have 5 shots on target. Inter Miami have none.
Wow.
So it has been a fairly sizable domination from Houston in this first half. And here is how the first half plays out. Miami and Houston were fairly even through the first 20 minutes, but then the game really started to open up, and Houston would find the opening goal in a nice counter-attacking move. On for Griffin Dorsey. First touch into the area. His strike is the opening goal for Houston Dynamo. Laces it over the head of Trey Callender. It finds the back of the net, and Houston Dynamo have opened the scoring in this cup final with a counter-attacking goal in the 24th minute. It's Miami 0, Houston 1. And it was a great goal. Counter coming from a giveaway from Facundo Farias. Houston working at several passes down the field, and it just opened up. Griffin Dorsey made the run forward from right back, and a clinical finish from the former winger out of the University of Indiana. And so Houston getting the early lead, and then challenge were coming from DeAndre Yedlin onto Nelson Quinones. It would earn Yedlin a yellow card as he caught the Colombian winger, and then Amin Bassi would step up to the penalty spot. And it's Bassi against Callender. He approaches the ball. Bassi down the middle, and he scores for Houston. Houston Dynamo 2-0 up in the Open Cup final over Inter Miami. Amin Bassi converting the penalty, won by Nelson Quinones. And Houston in a strong position now in this first half. and that position is where the first half would finish. Houston would have other chances. Ben Olsen talking in his halftime interview that there were more chances there, and he feels like you've really got to put Inter Miami away. And Fernando Fiore, who's down on the sideline for us, what do you think the response needs to be for this Inter Miami team? They struggled at times with that first half.
Well, it has to be a miracle for sure. And this is something that we don't going to lie, guys. I mean, this is